All right, just going to wait for a few more people to join. Okay, I'm going to start now just because it's going to be a little tenuous. All right, guys, if I lose you at any point, sorry, it means I had to go real quick. So we are at the intersection of North Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue in Baltimore, Maryland, obviously. As you can see, the police have formed up on the opposite side of where they formed up on Tuesday night. Protests began in Baltimore on April 19th after Freddie Gray, a black Baltimore resident, was killed by police. Sorry, I misspoke. Not necessarily killed by police, although that's what a lot of people think.
Wi-Fi is not good.
He died in police custody. There have been protests ever since, although protests kind of turned into a little bit more of a chaotic sort of riot on both Saturday night, but especially on Monday night. Last night it was pretty chill after 10 p.m. curfew, after there was some initial sort of like smoke grenade throwing, but really did get calm very quickly.
I think only about 10 people were arrested last night.
So police have now formed up on both sides of the intersection, by the way. Honestly, it's been a lot more chill lately, or at least today, even than yesterday, and yesterday was pretty calm throughout most of the day. But I don't know, it's also a little bit hectic, people trying to get people out of the streets, police obviously forming up because, again, 10 p.m. curfew. Sorry, I'm here with my colleague Megan, too.
Hi, guys.
Hi, she's right here.
So, yeah, just a little bit of how it's a little bit different tonight from last night. Last night we had a couple hundred people out here. It is much calmer than last night, although, as it approaches 10 o'clock and people need to move off the streets for this curfew, this week-long curfew, there are some tensions running high. As Colin was saying, we had some people lining up, we had the police lining up on both sides of Pennsylvania Avenue and North intersection, but as you can see now, they've kind of taken a different formation. There are a lot of police out here, though. They are ready for whatever is going to happen at 10 o'clock tonight. For the most part, people are self-policing. They're keeping each other calm. Obviously, people are still very upset about what has happened here, but for the most part, like we said, people are self-policing and people are trying to keep one another calm. People on here are saying last night was calmer than I expected. Same as for us. Let's see, this is the library on Pennsylvania Avenue, crack-free public library. There is a police chopper going overhead. The way things played out last night, they announced the curfew and asked people to get off the streets, including media. As you can see, someone out here with a sign asking people to go home, but also asking police to stop the use of lethal force. Someone is asking me how to describe self-policing. The way I describe that is that people are urging other protesters to really stay calm out on the streets. Last night we saw as the riot police lined up, there were another line of protesters who were just really urging the other people out here to stay calm. So as you can see, there's a big police line forming over here on the one side of Pennsylvania Avenue, straight across from the CVS that was looted and burned on Monday night. And we're going to stay out here for as long as we can, guys, just to give you a sense of what's going on as we get closer to 10 o'clock. People on here are saying, please, please let there be peace, and I think that is the general sentiment out here. I think, for the most part, people are just urging everyone to be peaceful. We do, have tensions running high, but for the most part, people are trying to remain peaceful. So we're just going to keep walking around here and see who we can chat to. Might just take a quick second to walk to this lady here. Hi, do you mind if I just ask you a couple of quick questions on camera? So obviously you're trying to get people off the streets, you're trying to get them to go home. They won't get hurt. People are going to get hurt, right?
At Williams Jameson, when did they clear media from the streets last night?
Right. And it's working.
It does.
It's working.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I feel that if I go home, then I'm subjecting my fellow Americans to violence from these police.
No.
Last night I did go home.
Yeah.
But then I was so worried about the people who were left here.
They were fine. Everybody went home. First of all, the governor has said it was a state of emergency. Said it was a state of emergency. customers, and they have a law behind them. So you have to go home. 10 o'clock, that's it.
I don't trust the government.
Well, I'm sorry you don't trust them, but we have laws.
Are you from West Baltimore yourself?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
but our
am.
laws don't really work.
Well, you have to follow the laws. You
I
have to
don't
follow
believe in
the
the laws
laws.
because it's been proven not to work. That's why we're here.
Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't.
This doesn't seem like this is working.
But we have to have civil order. We have to have something. We just can't have, nothing.
Well, I'm glad the media's here because as soon as they're gone, they're just shooting.
Tell us to go home.
We have CNN over here doing their stand-ups.
You're supposed to be here with the actual
We're sitting here in
Yeah.
the crowd, and
And
this is
I'm
not
glad.
violence.
And there's security guards as well.
We're people who are concerned for other human beings who are also Americans.
Exactly.
And I don't care what you're from, any day, and I feel like I have to do
We have a group of police officers here. Everything seems pretty calm at the moment. Another group there in the back. There's no longer lining up in formation. There's a group of them
Like I
out
said,
there as well.
at 10 o'clock, you say what you want to say, and then at 10 o'clock, you got to go. You got to go home and fight another day. Come back tomorrow. Say what you want to say tomorrow. Between the hours of what time is it? Something to 10. And then after that, goodbye. Follow the rules.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it. I don't know if you guys saw that just there, but the police officer actually
Video.
that woman and thanked her for being out in the street, asking people to go home. Colin, do you want to take the periscoping for a little while?
Sure.
And,
What have you talked about?
So we were talking about the general vibe here is pretty calm this evening.
At Warful, are the police officers uneasy with you recording on your phone?
Policing, in very
At Wilder 22, she rocks.
asking people to go home. We know the curfew is approaching in the next few minutes. 5 more minutes into the curfew.
Gotcha. So again, I think we just want to reiterate that there are definitely, the intersection at North and Penn today. This became sort of like the spot where people are going to come to if they want to sort of express themselves during the day, because the CVS, that brick building you can see in the background, is where looters sort of just ransacked it. It looks like an absolute shit show inside. They burned it, obviously not to the ground, but they burned a lot of it. Like the inside is wrecked. And so that sort of became like the intersection, North and Penn sort of became the spot where people would go to, and that's why last night police and people were sort of lined up. Of course, yesterday the street was closed, so police kind of formed up all day, just kind of waiting really until 10 almost, sort of like trying to clear as much as they could, but people sort of formed like a block party almost throughout the day. It got a little bit tense at times, but for the most part pretty chill, and then obviously toward 10 p.m. it's just kind of the natural way of things. It got a little bit more tense. Some people threw some smoke grenades. Police responded.
West Baltimore.
Hang on, I'm going to go.
States Congressman, our state senator,
This is
and your
Elijah
city
Cummings.
councilman.
This is Elijah
We're here
Cummings.
telling you we will not
state
stop
congressman. I'm gonna
until we
see
get
this
justice
real quick.
for Freddie Gray. However, getting locked up tonight, getting sprayed with rape mace tonight, is not going to help the situation. The only way we're going to change the situation is if we protest peacefully. There's been an order put in place for us to leave tonight and be in by 10 o'clock. We need each and every one of you to go into your house at 10 o'clock. The United States Congressman needs it. The state senator needs it. I need it. Your children and your family need it. We've done an excellent job protesting today. We're going to do an excellent job protesting tomorrow. Congressman Cummings begs that you go home immediately.
Right here?
Immediately. Thank you for moving.
At 956 Pesh 420. Check it out and share.
Love you. Proud of you. We're proud of Baltimore. We are a great city. We are a great city. We are a peaceful city.
Yes.
We are a peaceful city.
Yeah, I talked to pretty sure and yes, Steve, I can
right, guys. So I'm not sure if Mr. Cummings is going to talk anymore. Obviously, people trying to get people out of the street. Again, yesterday, sort of like a block party almost until the end. 10 p.m. Things got a little tense because that's kind of the way things go. Because there's like a set time everybody has to be out. But some people threw some smoke grenades. Police threw a few others. There was a little bit of tear gas, but I mean, it cleared out really quick. I mean, completely cleared out. Not very tense after the initial 20 minutes, maybe 30. And today has been less so. I mean, this road has been open for most of the day. Obviously, it's closed down right now. I'm not sure, but police have probably...
Oh, sorry.
At Will Winter, Leland Vitter rocking it.
Bring up the fact that people were not too keen on the national press being here last night. We saw Geraldo, who is directly in front of us here, have someone stand in his live shot, tell him that he was not portraying the situation the way he wanted it portrayed. We saw last night that someone also went up to Chris Cuomo from CNN and said the same thing as well. Again, it seems relatively...
At Lila FLW, good night, Baltimore.
Although, simmering underneath that is some real tension. So as we can see, a bang just went off down the end of Pennsylvania Avenue. People seem to run into that area. It's only a couple of minutes before 10 now. We can see some smoke rising up there a little bit, but it seems to be relatively minor. Again, we saw some local leaders come out there tonight. So, Colin, that was the state senator, same as last night.
Yeah, it was Elijah Cummings. I mean, people have been coming out all yesterday, and we haven't been up here much today, but I mean, people have been talking for peace of all kinds. I mean,
video.
From housing area presidents to state congressmen to all these people, all these community leaders have been trying to really calm the situation down, make sure people know when to head out, and that they actually do head out. Speaking of heading out, I'm going to stop standing in the middle of the street.
Yeah, we are in the middle
It feels weird. I feel like that media guy standing in the middle of the street.
At Williams Jameson, are people actually leaving?
Absolutely agreed. I mean, we will as soon as we have to.
Police yesterday police tweeted that media is allowed to stay out past 10 p.m.
I'm looking for you guys.
At Lila FLW, how can cops not have guns? Question mark?
The siren that we hear going off now, I'm assuming that means that it is 10 o'clock, and from the police chopper. And this is when there was some tension last night, so they were asking people to vacate the streets at 10 p.m. as per curfew. They need to be off the streets until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. So you can see the police chopper overhead right now. Are the police still in full riot gear? That someone is asking on Periscope. Yes, we can see right here the police are in full riot gear. And we have some National Guard members out here as well. I really like to find apologies, guys. There he is. Alright, that's it. As many policemen as last night, someone's asking. It's very difficult to tell because they're in a slightly different formation than they were last night. So yeah, again, it's very difficult.
At Digital Maori, sure we have special units but your average cop in NZ doesn't have access to them.
We're kind of just milling about. Like we said before, I'm not listening anymore, just thinking you guys must be safe. Yes, we are safe at the moment, and we will definitely keep you posted if anything changes.
At Yum, I'm not listening anymore, just thinking you guys must be safe.
To get people off of the streets right now.
Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home.
Why aren't you leaving? Like we said again, guys, the media does have a little bit of wiggle room to be out here a bit longer. Excuse me. We are not subject to the curfew at home because we are doing our jobs. There are the same guidelines for people who are trying to go to work who live in Baltimore as well. Is that Elijah Cummings who is asking?
It is, yeah. And I just wanted to say that in the intersection right now, there are definitely a decent number of people, but the vast majority of them are media. So, I mean, as far as actual citizens running around, sure there's some somewhere, and even some in this intersection, but the vast majority of people are walking with cameras and they're all media. So.
Someone is saying scary. The helicopter and armored police are scary. Yes, it definitely does give a added level of tension to what's going on around here, but most of these people running are all press. So all of these people are trying to see what Elijah Cummings has to say, and he's just telling people, get off the street. People, go home. So what you're seeing right now is a large group of people, but in reality, most of
At Uner, God bless Baltimore.
most of the protesters have already gone home. We were doing some reporting today on the arrests that have taken place over the past few weeks. What we're finding is a issue with the justice system where people are being held without being charged for more than 24 hours. So, a lot of people here don't want to get locked up because they understand what that means in reality. They might not be charged for more than 24 hours. As you can see here, there are a few people that get confrontational with the media. Just a real few handful of people.
All right, let me take the reins here, you guys. Look, if you guys have questions, by the way, please send them in on the comments. I will try to read them. They're coming in kind of quick, but if you're arrested, what are the chances they'll release you in a few hours? Very, very bad, actually. We were just, we have a story that will go up about that pretty soon, but people have not been charged and been held in jail for really since Monday night when most of the arrests went down.
We had some criminal defense attorneys explain to us the conditions that were going on for their clients who are currently being held. Again, some of them without being charged. Some of them have been charged but have yet to see a bail commissioner. Some of them have had bails set at exorbitant rates that are really impossible for them to pay. So kind of the next level of what we're trying to delve into here is what's going on with the justice system in Baltimore. And
How many people arrested today, if any?
Told us today that, part of the reason people are so angry is because of the way the system works in Baltimore at the moment. And what's going on for those protesters who have been taken into custody is just the latest iteration of that injustice. So, people are out here protesting on the streets, but that isn't the only level of the story that's going on here. I think people, who have been locked up and haven't had...
At a lawyer, not to mention not letting those cops be the only ones who can defend themselves. At a lawyer, not to mention not letting those cops be the only ones who can defend themselves and order.
Are also part of the issue.
So I'm gonna walk this way for a second, you guys. Just gonna walk up here. So the helicopter's telling media to step away from the citizens right now. Yeah, I just said it. So this is the corner we were at last night. So just to sort of reiterate or talk about, extend the conversation of what Megan was talking about. So Maryland state law says that if you...
How many arrested today?
Anyone who is arrested is supposed to be at least have a bail hearing within 24 hours, but that has not been happening. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has signed an order suspending that for the time being, which a lot of people have criticized, saying, you can't just change the law when you feel like it.
Also, some people believe it's in violation of habeas corpus, which is written into the Constitution of the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much just saying that you're violating the arrestees' constitutional rights by holding them, some of them without charge, without a bail hearing, going on 48 hours at this point. So that has happened. I mean, we've heard all kinds of details about people who have been held too. And
At Uner, it's simple. If you're white, you're less likely to seem like a suspect.
As fourth-degree burglary, which is a misdemeanor of like the lowest order, and basically means like maybe you took some like a bottle of water. Ooh, there's a drone, you guys. Look at that. A drone and then a helicopter. Sorry, hang on. The helicopter is flying around. I just want you guys to get this shot real quick. Anyway.
That's a media drone, or that's something personal?
At Gene_Leroy. Great reporting, guys.
So yeah, Maryland state law. I mean, a lot of these people, at least a good number of them, were charged with very low-level crimes, basically, akin to like taking, like a six-pack of beer.
At Williams Jameson, Choppy.
And some people, I mean, the thing is that some people say that the arrests, the people just kind of swept in and did kind of like these arrest people in mini groups, so that some people, yes, had
At Patriots_BS. Fuck the criminals.
or something, but other people were just kind of standing around nearby watching what was happening in their own neighborhoods, and then all of a sudden, they're just like kind of like being put in a police van. So that, I mean, we're talking to defense attorneys who said they had clients who certainly, I mean, this is just what the clients claim, but it certainly wouldn't be the first time that those claims turn out to be true, and that they're arrested sort of without any real reason. And again, a lot of these people have not been charged yet, so I mean, it's an issue that's certainly going to be focused on more and more. And something I think that was poignant that a defense attorney was talking to us about earlier was that, like, yes, people are out, like media, like myself and Megan are out here, filming what is happening in the streets here, all that, but and
At Blue Ridge, police are over-militarized. Founding fathers would be appalled.
We're going to try to make the city better, but then, inside the court system, it's
At Uner, here.
for Baltimore. So, obviously defense attorneys and certainly the people don't want that to be the case, but little indication that the judicial system is ready for any kind of immediate change. So again, guys, just for anyone who hasn't heard, I'm just going to reiterate that everything kind of started on April 19th. Freddie Gray, a black Baltimore resident, young guy, 25.
At C_Belton. How much more time does the media have to cover the street?
Arrested on April 12th. There was a video, if you want to go watch it, there's a video of his arrest in which he is, shouting, appears to be in pain, looks as if one or two of his legs, or both of his legs, are limp as he's sort of dragged by officers into a van.
At Winstonburg. They're all cunts.
He died a week later after undergoing surgery of a nearly completely severed spine and a crushed voice box.
At SDB 1986. We need more law based on common sense.
But that is it for the time being. Obviously, a lot of people are angry about that because they're saying, hey, the man, in all likelihood, didn't break his own back or his own spine. So what's the deal with that?
At Dustin0308. Thanks for the live coverage.
The police they say they're investigating it. A lot of people saying, I don't know how it takes this long to investigate something like this.
At Digital Maori. Our police aren't armed.
That's been going back and forth all week. Protests started pretty much immediately after the video went up, which was right around the time that Freddie Gray died. Again, April 19th. They went on throughout the week in the hundreds, but really sort of ramped up on Saturday. People came in from outside the city. There was, obviously there's some property damage, and then things again went a little crazy on Monday. High schoolers let out of school. There was no public transportation, so they were kind of milling around their school in nearby a mall. Police, lots of police showed up. People started throwing rocks at the police.
At Hannah Holtner. Why are people protesting?
And there was obviously a lot of rioting, and 235 people have been arrested since Monday night.
Saying, I say stay in the street and peacefully protest. Keep in mind that if people are breaking the curfew tonight, or any of the nights this week that there is a curfew instituted from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., they will be arrested. So, legally they have to be off the streets. Obviously the police, I think here, have shown a serious amount of restraint. So police do have a right at this point to come and try and clear people off the street. I think to kind of decrease the tensions here, police are stepped back a bit. Now it's 10:12, so we are 12 minutes past the curfew this evening, and police haven't stormed down the road or anything. So.
Yeah, I'm going to walk, and it's sort of the same thing that happened last night too. They didn't come after people right at 10, but then they did, and they started slowly clearing it little by little, holding up lines and walking. I'm just going to show you where the police are in relation to, really, again, a lot of media, but some people, but a lot of media.
Yeah, it's really difficult to talk to anyone that's out here protesting at the moment. We'd love to, show you guys some other opinions other than ours, but in reality, most of the people out here at the moment are media. So we're just trying to give you the best view we can of what's going on here. We might try and chat to a few more people, but most people have Have things been getting better with each night, people are asking. I think there's still been tension out here every night, I think Monday night took a lot of people by surprise. Colin can talk to that better because he was out here. I actually wasn't out here on Monday night. What was that like compared to tonight?
I mean,
actually,
Monday,
I'll just put this on you so you can tell us a little
sure.
about it.
I mean, Monday was insane. Yeah, I mean, it was nothing like yesterday except for like 20 minutes around yesterday. There were, a bunch of groups and groups of mostly young people, a lot of high schoolers around Mundauman Mall on Reiserstown Road. They sort of formed up in groups. Officers formed up in groups. They started hurling rocks at the officers. Officers charged, arrested other people, pulled people off of, out of their front yards and arrested them. It was crazy. They, officers were firing rubber bullets, firing tear gas, firing pepper spray balls. Obviously, a lot of buildings burned, a lot of buildings got looted.
At Curly_Sean, why do you have a well-armed population?
Where Colin is standing, that's the CVS on the corner of North and Pennsylvania. Someone was just asking where we are at the moment, the corner of North and Pennsylvania. That was looted and burned, gutted by a fire, really, on Monday night. Again, it was pretty small pockets of protest that we were seeing. Now, police are suddenly coming up the road with their riot gear, but let's see. They've just stopped on the corner there. There's not really anything in particular they're walking towards. I think they're just trying to clear this.
At Armandus Trips, there was protesting in NYC, which also got violent.
Not really, actually. I think most people have gone home. We talked to this lovely lady earlier who is now being interviewed by the national media. She's one of the many people out here tonight urging people to go home. Some local leaders as well were trying to get this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people are home, although they may well be, but they're certainly...
At 800-0615, are people ignoring curfew?
Is greatest. Police went around last night, drove around in cars asking people to go home even if they weren't near the intersection. So I don't know where they are, where a lot of citizens are right now.
People are asking, are we from Baltimore? Are hotels and businesses operating in the city at the moment? Hotels and businesses are.
At Horse Days, they went off the hook.
Hey, Paul, I'm very, very proud.
This is Elijah Cummings again.
Of our folks, and we're proud of our city. They listen, they understand, and they know that we're going to demand justice for Freddie Gray. We will never let that issue die until it's fully resolved. I told somebody, a few of them...
At Cultop spokes from 2013-2015. The richest 14 Americans increased their net wealth by more than $157 billion.
Discussion with our Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, and she made it very clear that there are at least 2 investigations going on right now with regard to the Baltimore City Police Department, one in the cops division, and then the other one is a criminal /
At School for Palin, 96% of city administration are black Democrats, 80% of police are black Democrats.
We feel very, very confident in what she is doing. She made it very clear that it is a top priority for her. But we also want you to know, that we feel the pain of our constituents.
At Cultop spokes from 2013-2015. The richest 14 Americans increased their net wealth by more than $157 billion.
I just want to first thank all of the folks who stayed out here all day with us, the gentlemen who were standing behind me, who've been with me from day one, who stood here and made sure that the crowd here dispersed quietly. And I think we showed everybody, we showed the nation that Baltimore can protest in peace. And someone had asked me earlier, what was the little fight going on over across the street? The fight was between 2 brothers, because one brother was trying to pull one brother in the other direction, and the other brother was saying, let's go home. So, as you can see, both of them now have gone home, and so we want to thank Baltimore again for peacefully demonstrating. And as
At Pete and Twins, don't follow curfew. Nonviolent protest is not passive. Stand your ground.
Until we get justice for Freddie Gray, we will not rest until there is a full, clear, transparent investigation of our police department, as well as the police who were involved in the death of Freddie Gray, and the practices that are currently going on that allow people who go into custody to end up dead. We don't ever want to have that kind of discussion again. We don't ever want to see another individual in Baltimore get caught up in that kind of situation again. It doesn't matter what the issue was. We pay our police in this city, for the most part, most of them do. We pay them to protect and serve, and not to protect and attack, serve and attack. So we know that we're on the right track. Baltimore, again, we just want to thank you all for being patient with us and understand that investigations take time. And as the Congressman has already said, we got 2 federal investigations going on. We've got 2 investigations going on in the city. We're going to make what needs to be right in Baltimore. We're going to, as the Congressman has already told me, we're going to continue to look at what is happening in our city in terms of economic development opportunities. And we're going to make sure that we pour some money up into this side of town.
Okay, it's kind of difficult to hear what's going on over there now, but that is State Senator Catherine Pugh.
At Kajunk Element, my block button is in full effect. Ugh, I have people.
They were telling us a little bit about
Let's go for Palin. Give Dems 50 more years. 6 exclamation marks.
They were saying that Loretta Lynch, our new Attorney General,
At Katie_Van Leuven. Prayers for Baltimore.
Into his death, and you know, they were reiterating again that they're happy that people have decided to come off of the streets. Catherine Pugh was also telling us there was a little scuffle down Pennsylvania Avenue earlier today, and people were concerned, you know, that this conflict that was breaking out. But it was actually 2 brothers who apparently were fighting. And as you can see, there is a massive media.
At Alien Tone. Yeah, she would have had to catch a brick to the chest along with a bald head dude.
Right now, again, that was Catherine Pugh, who is the state senator, and then Elijah Cummings, who is a congressman. We're just saying, you know, we were very proud of people from Baltimore who were getting off the streets tonight and listening to the curfew, which is now 20 minutes in effect. Colin, anything you want to add to that?
So what specifically?
Just about the leaders that, sorry, I didn't really specify the leaders that have been out here the last few nights. So
I can talk about what people have, because I mean, like Representative Cummings was at the funeral, which was pretty great too. You know what I mean? Okay, so I mean, Cummings was like at the funeral there. So the funeral at New Shiloh Baptist Church.
This is Freddie Gray's funeral.
This is Freddie Gray's funeral. Gray, the black resident of Baltimore who died in police custody on the 19th of this month. So at the funeral, it was at New Shiloh Baptist Church, about 2 minutes away from stuff. You know, crazy stuff started to happen on Monday. The funeral was on Monday. I mean, well over 2,000 people came out to the funeral. The church was packed. Sorry if you guys can't hear me.
Helicopters flying overhead.
And I mean, Elijah.
At Uner. Thank you, Mashable.
Get a haircut, Colin.
Dude, I need a haircut. I need to shave. My girlfriend will appreciate this.
It's been a long few days.
So Representative Cummings at the funeral really, I mean, he was. I could just tell. I mean, his voice was shaking when he was up there. He was talking about, you know, really addressing the family, Freddie Gray's family, saying, you know, you wanted to watch him grow up. You saw him born. You saw him talk for the first time. You were excited about that. You saw him go to school. You saw what he could be, and then you saw what he wasn't becoming, even though you knew his potential. And then obviously you watched.
At Cult Talk Spokes, hyped Pipper.
Stuff that you abandoned on that video, and now you have to deal with the fact that he died, and you're not getting answers. So I mean, it was as much mourning as it was sort of a rallying cry in a way. Billy Murphy, the Gray family attorney, was up there calling for police body cameras, calling for control of the on-off switch to those body cameras, getting a lot of applause for all of those things. So I mean, you know, a lot of times at these funerals for people who have been killed by police, they try to make them not political, and you know, there was some of the leadership was in the area was trying to say that before the funeral as well, but at the funeral it was clear that everyone was really into some of the more, you know, political statements like body cameras for police. I mean, every time Murphy, again the attorney for the Gray family, said anything related to body cameras, related to, you know, we have to have some kind of oversight for police. We have to have better community leadership.
Let's go for Palin. Cummings is the present Cummings.
Who to go to talk to police about why they arrested somebody. And anytime he said any of that, I mean, huge applause went on for, 15 seconds, which is a long time for applause, especially at a funeral. So yeah, I mean, that kind of thing was happening at the funeral.
So we have a couple people on here asking, not to deviate away from the leaders that we were just talking about there, Elijah Cummings and Catherine Pugh, who are again asking people to come up.
Edit Sia Boy Giston. Fox News is just a show to scare old white people.
Out here as opposed to media.
No, I mean, definitely mostly media right here.
Exactly, definitely most media. As you can see, like this whole intersection for parts of the night last night and for much of the day yesterday was packed with people. It was kind of a party, street party festival atmosphere. It was not very tense. Everybody was, pretty chilled out, and it's virtually empty right now. So about a half an hour after the curfew has gone into place, there is nobody in the middle of the street. It is mostly media walking around, including myself, so I'm going to move out of the middle of the road right now. But first, I'm just going to quickly take you over to one of the few remaining police lines so you can have an idea of what these guys are geared up and wearing over here. So this is on North Avenue. We have a few rioters. They're not lined up. Everybody's very calm.
At Mobilic, the powers that be want people to riot so they can justify martial law.
Chilled out. Last night I witnessed a really, really nice moment between some police officers and some members of the local community. There was a few young boys who had gone up to the police line and had asked...
At Anne's Darcy's Academy, I would be pissed if my business was destroyed. That's my livelihood.
About the helmets that they were wearing, and the police officer, who was female, she was from the Baltimore County Police Department. She was really happy to just explain to the young kids, we're here to protect you, we're here to make sure that you don't get hurt. It was at a moment where it was not incredibly tense, and she was really just happy to be able to explain to members of the local community what was going on. We did see a lot of kids out here over the last few days, families kind of coming out all together. Again, the curfew for children is at 9 o'clock as opposed to 10 o'clock at night. Apologies, guys.
We should mention, by the way, that the police left over there and no one even noticed.
Yeah, oh, that's a really good point.
At Texas Boy _1990, not all cops are bad cops.
So this is down North Avenue in the other direction where there had been a police line maybe 15 minutes ago, and there was kind of a moment of tension. All of those police are gone, so it really has chilled out here. Hi, guys. These are two of kind of the remaining people on the street, very chilled out, not too much going on. Can you guys tell us a little bit about why...
At Anne's Darcy's Academy. Oh, the senior center was just sad. Horrible.
Help clear people off the streets, or just maintaining calm? Yeah? And are you from West Baltimore yourself?
Nah, we go to college.
Oh, you go to college up here. Okay, and so you're just here to see what's going on, just make sure everything stays cool. Just checking everything out, okay? And do you have any worry? Obviously, I'm out here myself, so I shouldn't be asking this, but with the curfew in effect, any worry that, things would escalate? Yeah. And have you had any, encounters with police over the course of the evening, or?
I mean, for the last 2 days, not today. Today's been cool, but the last 2 days, been maced in.
Can you explain to some of the people that might not know what's going on? It's just on a live stream. As far as, what's different tonight than what was happening last night?
More people are inside than last night.
At Anne's Darcy's Academy. Worried in Cleveland here with the Tamir Rice situation and the cop on trial.
You out here too last night?
Yeah, I was out here last night.
And were you down that end of Pennsylvania or down here when there were those few flashbangs, or did you miss it? You were right there. And did you ever fear for your own safety, or?
I mean, around on Monday? Yeah. I was just trying to see what you think about Monday. I was here too. I was just running around. I don't know where you live. You live around here, like right out here, or?
Yeah, college right up the street.
Okay, cool. I'm just.
At Patriots_BS. Ask him if he has a job.
How it's chilled out since.
Monday was crazy. It was crazy. This whole street was filled.
Yeah.
It was filled. Cop cars on fire. People throwing rocks at cops. It was crazy. Now it's just settled down.
Yeah. And obviously tonight, for a little while there were police kind of lined up here, there were police lined up there, but it seemed like for the most part...
Yeah, because mostly it's cameramen out here, so it's not...
like us?
Yeah, it's not... None of the citizens out here, so... They're cooler right now.
Exactly.
What do you think about, I keep asking people about, a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months down the road. I'm curious what you think the relationship between people and... these people, police are going to be here long after we're gone, right?
Yeah, I feel like it depends on Friday.
Yeah, Friday is supposed to be, that's the investigation, right? Yeah.
So
I think
on Friday,
everything is based on Friday right now.
Yeah. You think, I don't know, police have a, let's just say they have a,
At Fisk's 1999, is it cold?
not saying much even when they say they're going to say a lot.
Yeah.
You think if they don't come out with something that's like pretty definitive, like it's going to be a little
What,
bit
something,
weird?
something that we don't like?
Something like that, like, hey, we had a lot to do with how...
At Dooley Jeff 23, shut up Justin.
Yeah, if what the citizens don't want to hear, I don't know what's going to happen.
That's probably the best way to sum it up.
And from your own personal opinion, obviously totally speaking for yourself, what do you want to hear on Friday?
I want to hear that he is accountable for what he did. Get arrested, get the time. Because he did, kill someone. But yeah, I feel like he should get his time. That's why we out here.
Yeah.
By he, you just mean like whatever officers were involved?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
And that's an important thing.
And other future stuff too, future situations like this.
Yeah, to prevent this from happening. And for...
At Venticus, blacks are not thugs. Go get it right. Black people are educated working people.
Much appreciated, guys. Stay safe. So we have dwindling numbers because obviously, as we said before, things are pretty calm out here. We're probably going to head off here in a minute. Any other questions that people have about what's going on the corner of North Ave in Pennsylvania right now? We're happy to answer any of them, or if there's anything in particular that you want to look at while we're on here, we're happy to do that as well. Other people are reminiscing about the mother who caught her son out protesting on Monday night. So that was a really interesting story. When the looting riots were happening on Monday night, the mother actually went to town with her son, who she thought was out with the protesters. Somebody's asking, are they looting tonight? No, as you can see, it's really, really calm out here.
At Hurley Corey 10, are they fully martial law? At Angela Lunderscore, people keep thinking of Friday, but nothing is going to be said about Friday on Friday. Video.
Is allowed to be out here past the curfew.
At Jamar Diggs, yes, find them on that beat her son out there.
Nicely move people out of the street so the traffic can keep going around. And again, like we said before, the police have been very calm tonight, as they were for the majority of the night last night. People are asking, how is the traditional media's reaction to Mashable? I wish Colin was here so that we could discuss this together. Oh, here he is. That's a good question. We just got a question about what the traditional media reaction is to Mashable. I don't think a lot of them know what that we're necessarily live streaming. Periscope is obviously a relatively new thing. So yeah, I don't think people who are part of mainstream media even notice us. We're kind of just observers here, right? We're not up with a big camera. We're not trying to make waves.
Video.
Someone says it doesn't look like they're enforcing the curfew. I do think, people are clearing off the streets. I don't think the police have come in to, make sure that everyone is off the street.
And yeah, I mean, police are doing it. I mean, obviously they, have a lot of people...
At a Mill Law ear, no martial law, just trying to get PPL off streets.
At 10 p.m. right now. And, they have obviously not just sort of bum rush people at 10. They didn't do it last night either. Last night, about now, had gotten a lot more tense because there were a few smoke bombs, but obviously nothing like that at all tonight. Police have backed off of both sides of the intersection here. They're really just hanging out next to some homes, probably just waiting for the media scrum to die down.
Definitely. Over here behind where we have the camera pointed at the moment is the public library. So
at Cult Talk Spokes, Jesus is working in Luffinga.
Speaking to the library director, so she was telling us a little bit about how things played out there on Monday night when things did get violent. So as you can see, that's obviously right across the street from the CVS back there that was looted, so pretty close by. The director of the library was telling us that she had
Edit Cy Boy Justin. Fuck Fox News.
lock the doors so that people had a safe place to go. So there's a lot of community action going on at the moment. Somebody was asking on here about the Orioles game this afternoon. So Colin and I were actually able to cover that as well from where we are staying. It was a really strange atmosphere. So obviously, it's the first time in the history of the MLB that a baseball game has been played in front of a empty park. So, here comes the fire truck off the street.
At Patriots_BS, riots again after facts come out regardless of facts.
Again, you see why it's so important for people to be out of the middle of the road at the moment, so that emergency response vehicles can get where they need to go.
We should talk about the, I mean, there was a pretty big, very peaceful demonstration today earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just so you guys know, as police march up to wherever they're marching up to, there was a very, very big, certainly over 1,000. I heard someone say over 2,000. An organizer say over 2,000. Big peaceful protest against police brutality here earlier, marching in a circle really around downtown, starting at the Amtrak station, the train station. Marched around, a lot of people providing food at random street corners. People had pizza at City Hall, where the march stopped for a little bit.
There was kind of a rally at City Hall after a little while. So started
yeah, it was like a block party again.
And again, it was an overwhelmingly positive crowd. People were...
Adventicus. More education is needed to keep people level-minded. We are failing in America with education.
For Freddie Gray. So underneath all of this, underneath what we saw on the streets tonight, people are determined to make sure that justice is done. I think we're seeing that from officials, so people are very keen to understand.
At Melbeck 1964, Ensign Don't. At Pontoon_Madness. Dummy, it's the Washington Post reporting that.
Earlier, there is a federal investigation going on into his death, and people here are really anxious to see what the results of that investigation is going to be.
Yeah, and someone just asked if it was going to kick off again tonight. Seriously doubt it. I mean, obviously, sometimes it only takes one weird event for everything to sort of go to hell. But I mean, again, last night was a little bit more intense than this for 30 minutes with some smoke.
At Russell 1011, drone.
Yes, but really chill after that. Tonight, certainly much more chill. And again, a guy who was we were talking to earlier, he said he thinks it depends on really the results of the investigation into what happened to Freddie Gray, who died in police custody.
So if you guys are interested in seeing what's going on later on after we're done live streaming, because as you can see, it's pretty quiet out here right now. Colin and myself are still going to be down here covering ongoing protests. Sorry, there's sirens out the end of the road there. You can follow me on @MeganSpecia. That's @MEGANSPECIA, or you can follow Colin on Twitter as well. He can give you his Twitter handle.
At Yamas, she's hot. 4 exclamation marks.
COLINDAILEDA. But if you want
non-Twitter news.
Well, if you want our non-verbal diarrhea here, you can go to www.mashable.com, which is Mashable's website, mashable.com.
And that's where we're going to be filing our larger reports to really unpack everything that's going on here for you guys, so you can have a better understanding of what's really happening here.
Editor Alonso 3. Oops.
Going up hopefully later tonight, but certainly soon, about the situation people are facing inside prisons who who've been arrested but not charged yet. I know we obviously have a lot of other coverage. As well from Monday, from what's happened really, especially from Monday and beyond, but even before that, at the funeral of Freddie Gray, et cetera, et cetera. So again, Mashable.com for all of that, guys.
Yeah, I know some of our colleagues were out in New York this evening. That's where Mashable is based. Some of our colleagues were out covering some of the protests that were going on out there as well. So just keep an eye on our @Mashable handle to get updates on what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, stuff.
At Bob Corrigan, good job, Mashable. At Truck and Dog 1, media hype is only feeling this fire.
A black teenager named Michael Brown was shot and killed by a white police officer back in August, where sort of the national protest against police brutality really took off in the U.S. Sure, we're gonna walk and talk, guys. So a lot of there were protests there yesterday. A lot of protests. I saw that 6,000 people had gathered in Union Square in New York City, which is usually the start of the biggest protest against police brutality there. Police arrested.
At Truck and Dog 1, more media than citizens there.
People, and that was a few hours ago.
At Hurley Corey 10, does it sound like a war zone all night with the helicopter and sirens all night?
Who actually live here, people from West Baltimore, have been really keen to keep things safe and keep things tidy. And as you can see over there, somebody is sweeping up in front of one of the buildings here where a lot of the protesters have been gathered. It's just, you know, when you have a couple of hundred people out on the street, there's bound to be garbage on the side of the road, so people are over there cleaning that up. We started walking down this way because it does seem like there were some sirens going on down here, but it does seem to be pretty minimal, and I think that we might just... Any other questions that you guys have for us? Are there many protesters who aren't from Baltimore?
At Russell 1011, Washington Post reporting Gray tried to injure himself in the van, confused face.
Last Saturday, I mean, usually in these, you know, in cities where police brutality has really become a thing, like North Charleston, Ferguson, and obviously here in Baltimore, a lot of people come down on the weekends because, you know, they can come down for a couple days, they don't have to work, they don't have anything else going on in their lives, so they come down and bigger rallies start. That's what happened this past Saturday. Some people are supposed to are coming in.
At Bakery GRL_NY, no one is outside because they are protesting in Nick Law.
As well, so it happens sometimes. Although, again, the vast majority of people arrested on Monday from Baltimore. So.
Right, and I think, you know, obviously, again, let's see, this is another armored vehicle that's moving through here. The sheriff's department armored vehicle.
At Truck and Dog 1, it's an imaginary ghost riot.
And like Colin was saying, there are a few people out here that aren't from Baltimore. When things like this hit the national stage, I think it does bring a lot of people in from the outside. It highlights issues that are going on in the city, and people are keen to get out here. Some people saying they want to work for Mashable. Mashable's a great place to work. Yeah.
It's turning into an ad.
I'd highly recommend it. All right, guys, we might give this a... close this up for the evening.
Yeah. Again, guys, if you want to check it out, check out our coverage later. Again, go to our website.
Oh, sorry, this is something that's come up a few times.
At Hurley Corey 10, does it sound like a war zone all night with sirens and helicopters all night?
The chopper noise is like constant. It started at like 10 a.m. on Monday, or sorry, on Tuesday. It went for the duration of the day. I've heard it most of the day today. I'm sure Megan has as well. So it sounds, I mean, the chopper sound is constant, yeah.
Someone's asking if they could see the police line again. To be honest, there's not really a police line at the moment. As you can see up here, no police line. There's a few police officers over here standing in front of one of the businesses. There are police kind of milling about on the street, talking to media. Can we talk to the police? We'll try to talk to the police at some point. Apologies for reading the comments here. We'll try to talk to the police at some point. A lot of times they will push us back to a spokesperson, and it's a little bit difficult to get information. Alright guys, so we are going to call this quits for the evening. There's Colin. I'm Megan, and we'll see you guys later.
Play button.
Stop. Flash button. Button. Flip camera button. Stop button. Button. Alert. End stream. Are you cancel?